The first Sunday of the year is here. NFL Sunday. I couldn't sleep last night. I'm sure that was the same for so many of you out there. Wow, do we have excitement today? Our first NFL Pub Hub. This is season 4 of NFL Pub Hub. Congratulations to last year's champion, Birdie. We have our season 2 champion, Bobano, our season 1 champion, Big Ragu. All 3 of our champions are on today's show. We are so pumped up. We're so pumped up about our Cappers contest. So excited about our Cappers contest. There is one note, though. Mitch Fearing, M. Fearing, he's paid for Survivor and the Cappers, but we're missing his Survivor pick. We give a little bit of leniency in week 1, but other than that, we're ready to go. A $10,000 prize pool. Thank you to Harbor Acres Cottages, the perfect week bonus. We are so excited about all of that. We're so excited about today's action. And then, of course, it's the NFL nonstop wild news. Tyreek Hill detained by police in front of the stadium 20 minutes ago. So we need to get information on all of that. We got best bets coming in the chat. Great cappers in the chat. We got an incredible show. 11:05 in 1 minute. Bobano gets us started. Then we have Clint McLean, Mr. Sean Higgs, who was spectacular last year, 2nd overall. We have Birdie, last year's champion. Big Ragu, season opening champion. Of course, Bobano was season 2. We have Marley, who was spectacular last year, 3rd overall. Brizzy and Dutch Boy Fresh closing it up. So excited about all of this. I went 7-2 in the preseason. I'm 1-1 to start out the year. I lost with KC Baltimore under 46, a terrible number, and I paid the consequences of it. And then I cashed with the Eagles -1.5. And so did our Pub Sports Radio Circa Millions. That was our number 1 pick. 78% of us voted for the Eagles, a -2. The rest of my action, Jose will be putting up and showing you here with graphics, but I'll give it to you quickly. I'm on New England, Cincinnati under 40.5. Patriots team total under 16.5. The Patriots team total under 16.5. That's the biggest bet, week 1 bet I've ever made in my life. Single week 1 bet, biggest ever. Pittsburgh, Atlanta under 42, Titans +4, Panthers +4.5, Minnesota, New York Giants under 41.5, Browns -2.5. And then I'm in a bad spot here with my Rams, Lions under. You're going to hear cappers, great cappers on the show tell you why they're on the over, and this line's moved against me. I got 51. Feel sick about it. Jets +4.5. Then my additions were Eagles -1.5 and Raiders +3. And so the all my action is in the email, Jose, that was sent, unless something went wrong there. So you can let me know. It should be right there on the top of it. I hope, unless I screwed up that email. My NFL low bag futures, Buccaneers over 7.5 wins, Vikings under 6.5 wins, Patriots under 4.5 wins, Patriots worst record, Lions win the NFC North, Lions over 10.5 wins, and Colts to make the playoffs. And then Kelsey under 850.5 receiving yards. He caught for 34. That was a max bet, too. The Kelsey under 850.5 receiving yards. I'm interested in the Titans over 6.5 wins. I'm interested in the Colts +3, and I'm interested in Dallas, Cleveland under. Those are the 3 things that I'm just holding on to. We have Troy Torrance, my co-host in NFL Pub Hub. His action is in, and it's this good-looking action. He tripled up to get started, tripled up on the Eagles money line, Eagles -2, Eagles -2.5. He pushed Chiefs, Ravens, and he lost Ravens +3 to start out the year. So he's 3-1 to start out the year. He's got Panthers +4, Panthers +4.5, Panthers money line. He's got the Cardinals +6 and the Cardinals money line. He's very uncomfortable with those spots. Very uncomfortable. Colts +2, just because of the market moves. He bet him early. He's very uncomfortable where it's 6.5 juiced. He's very uncomfortable. Cardinals +6 and money line, uncomfortable. Colts +2.5. His teaser is Colts +8.5, Bengals -2.5. He's on the Bengals Patriots under 40.5. He's on Browns money line, Browns -2.5. Jets money line, Jets +4, and Jets +4.5. What he hasn't tweeted out yet is he's also on the Raiders money line and the Raiders +3. So those are his spots there. And then we have the Circa Millions. We have Eagles -2. We've cashed. So we're 1-0 to start out the Pub Sports Radio Circa Millions. We have the Bengals -8.5, Buccaneers -3.5, Vikings -1, and Panthers +4. The 2 spots that didn't make it into our top 5, with number 6 was the Raiders at +3, and number 7 was the Cardinals at +6.5. Obviously, the Tyreek Hill footage is the most interesting, exciting, uncomfortable news that we're talking about right now for marquee injuries. Russell Wilson with the calf is questionable. Jamar Chase, question marks around his involvement in today's game. And T. Higgins is doubtful, which makes it even more important to have him. We got Justin McKelvey, Will Levis, stacks play today. We got Najee Harris over rushing yards. I'm going to copy and paste that. Sean Higgs, truth teller in the house, man. Bear Pig, Dan Kelly, Spenny Penny Bombs with his player props. You'll see Spenny Penny Bombs on this show throughout the season. Razor Sharp Picks, Viper MB, Rob Garvey, Big Daddy Boom, Limited Benefits. What a great group. Thank you guys for being here. Gambler 6, Nasty Nate, Adam Whitehead, Marco Spagnolo, Nate Dog Shy, Archie, Tom Leach, Aubrey Travis, Drizzy Goat, Dan Kelly, Tom Leach, Moneyline Mills, Rodney Barton. Thank you guys all for being here. Harold Williams, the chillest, Hermes. It's so exciting to have you guys all here. Joe Chris, Slatsy, Ronnie Lofton, Red Girl, Mark Lemmer-Ticella, Wine Time Sports, NJ Stryker, Super True Story, Brad Oliver. I'm going to copy and paste all of your guys' action. It's just so wonderful to have you here. The first Sunday of the year. And let's bring on our Season 2 champion, our guy. It's been a while since I've got to share the screen with him. You'll see him this Thursday dropping NCAA football coverage for us on Pop Sports Radio. Please welcome Bobano to the show. Ian Cameron, how are you, my friend?
Hey, stranger, who are you? Who the hell are you? It's been a long time. What's going on?
It is so great to see you, man. And I know you've got a ton of action. Bobano, as always, hitting the lead off for us and hitting the lead off in Season 4, our Season 2 champion, ready to get to work. I'm going to be copying and pasting all of the action in the chat, but let's get right to work here. Let's get up the line history and, of course, the all-important cash flow. And let's roll. And Bobano. You get started at 1 p.m. Eastern with the Jacksonville Jaguars at Miami Dolphins, Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. 89 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 13 miles per hour. Jaguars have their safety, Daniel Thomas, questionable, but they're a pretty healthy group. The Dolphins, obviously, with this Tyreek news, it's absolutely wild. You have already Malik Washington out with a quad injury, another wide receiver. Jalen Ramsey is questionable, and he was limited Friday. He didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday. And line history-wise, we have this total sitting at 49.5. I was initially interested in the total. This actually dropped to 49. It dropped to 49 11 minutes ago at Pinnacle. And then on the spread, we have Jacksonville right now plus 3.5 at minus 112. This was a flat 3 25 minutes ago. Now, it wasn't that legitimate, actually. It was minus 115 to the Dolphins, plus 104 to the Jags. Here we go, Bobano, our first game on NFL Pub. Oh, I didn't give you the cash flow quickly here. Let me do that. We have cash flow-wise, 50 coin flip on the side, 53% of tickets, 49% of cash on the Jags, and 77% of tickets, 90% cash on the over. Bobano, fire away, my friend.
Yeah, for me, over the total in this game, I like quite a bit. And now all of a sudden we see Tyreek Hill, basically taken away in handcuffs, although his agent's already stepped up to the plate and said he's playing. So what are they going to do? Are they going to try to get this process done quickly and get him cleared and back to the stadium before kickoff? We'll have to wait and see. The bottom line is there's some key injuries on defense for Miami. I think Jalen Phillips is good to go, which I wasn't expecting initially for the Dolphins. So that is a huge boost, but they're without Bradley Chubb, another one of their key pass rushers. And when I look at Jacksonville, I think Trevor Lawrence, there's a real onus on him to play well this year. Have a good start. I know nobody's happy with the Jaguars with the way that season ended, and I still have some question marks about the Miami Dolphins defensively a little bit, especially if Jalen Ramsey's banged up and or doesn't play in the secondary. Then on the flip side, look, I think when you look at Miami, the Jacksonville Jaguars defense, it's a situation where their secondary is still very questionable in my mind. I think they got some pass rush with Josh Allen, although his name's hyphenated now, and Trayvon Walker's key. I mean, this guy really hasn't lived up to that number one overall billing as a dominant edge pass rusher. He's going to have to definitely step up, and I'm not sure he will. I think the fact the Miami offensive line's about as healthy as it's been in a long time to start the season is huge. So I think both teams move the ball. And the key is this is an early September game in Miami. It's going to be extremely warm in the sun. Defenses could wear down as this game goes on. So we'll go over the total here with Jacksonville, Miami. Best line currently right now looks to be 48.5 49. Or no, 48.5 is there. 48.5 minus 115 at Betway.
You are locked in for your first bet on the board. Let's roll. Next up for us, Minnesota Vikings, New York Giants. These are two healthy squads, other than, of course, J.J. McCarthy's injury. 67 Fahrenheit, sunny, 11 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here for this one. Of course, the big story has been the Vikings going from dog to favorite. But there's been a little bit of buyback for the first time. 9 cents of buyback. The Vikings were minus 111 at minus one. Now they're minus 102. Probably have a better idea of what's going on with the money line. So why don't we head over there quickly to the money line? Right now, they're down to minus 110. So that's something. It's something. This was minus 126 on Friday. This whole huge move to the Vikings perplexed me. The Giants being this laughing stock in the offseason, I thought was a little much. And I'm not on board. I'm not going to fade this market move from dog to favorite, but I'm simply not on board with everybody thinking that the Giants are going to get trashed and that their secondary is so bad, because they have a legitimate pass rush this year, and that can maybe make that horrible secondary look a little bit better. All this love for the Vikings has just, I don't get it. 13% of tickets, 31% of cash on the under. And on the spread, we have 69% of tickets, 71% of cash on the Vikings. And on the money line, we have 70% of tickets and 87% cash on the Minnesota Vikings. Bobano, can't wait to hear your breakdown. Take it away, my friend.
Yeah, I don't agree with this move either. I'm on the Giants here. Plus, I'm not laying points on the road with Sam Darnold. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you shitting me? There's not a chance in hell I would do that. None. Zero. And I know the New York Giants are having all kinds of question marks. I get it. The O-line is still a work in progress. It wasn't very good at all last year. Everybody remembers the viral interception, pick six Daniel Jones threw in the preseason. Of course, everyone had a good laugh about it. The good news is that's only preseason. I just don't know if Minnesota's the kind of team with their overall roster that merits being a road favorite in week one. I just think there's holes everywhere. I think the O-line for them is a little shaky. I think defensively they weren't very good last year. All kinds of question marks there. And like I said, with the New York Giants, their pass rush to me is, I like Dexter Lawrence in the middle. And then you've got Kayvon Thibodeau. You get Burns over here from Carolina. That was a great trade in the offseason. They're definitely going to end up, I think, improving this pass rush. And we know if Sam Darnold's under pressure, he can make mistakes. So, look, it's not a ringing endorsement of the Giants. I know they've got issues, but this is more, Minnesota's not ready to be road favorites in week one. Sorry. Giants plus 1.5, minus 108 at Bet Victor. And I'm also going to do some teasers this year. I left teasers off the card on this show a lot last year, and I did very well with them. I've also got the Giants in a teaser, plus 7.5 as one leg. Actually, you know what? I'll mention the teasers now. We'll put the teasers on the card now, Jimmy. Okay. Giants plus 7.5.
Wait, I'm just going to move down to the bottom of your action here so I can keep it clean.
Yeah.
Okay, take it away.
Giants plus 7.5 with Cincy minus 1.5. That's one teaser.
Okay.
Minus 110. Giants plus 7.5 with Indy plus 8.5. Minus 110. That's another teaser. And the last one is Cincy minus 1.5 and Indy plus 8.5. Minus 110. Those are all teasers.
That is the Bengals Colts is the Troy Torrance teaser from Tuesday that he pushed me to move on, as I don't, generally use teasers. He pushed me pretty heavy, and hearing your endorsement on it as well, I'm sure will interest the cappers in the chat. Ron Lofton on the under in this one. I am right with him on the under in this one. We've got plays of the day coming in from the chat. Jose, if you could highlight them as we roll through, because we have to move so quickly, as you guys know how we do here on NFL Pub Hub. So we roll on. So next up for you, Bobano, is Panthers Saints. Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. The Saints are an much older defensively football team that I think will break down as the season goes on. Jalen Ford, linebacker, with a hamstring injury. And they also have Jackson out, Marco Jackson with the calf injury. That's tough. Gay was limited all week. Willie Gay Jr. I mean, their linebacking core is banged up early. Carolina has a huge problem at tight end. Tommy Tremble and Ian Thomas are out. It's not good. Not good at all. So they signed Messiah Swinson off the Packers practice squad.
That is rough.
But I'm on the Panthers, and I read out Bobano's message to me about the Panthers, and I loved it. So you'll hear his breakdown here, and we see 3.5s on the board. Exactly what I wanted to see today. This was a 4 at 7 this morning. Love seeing that 3.5. This has come down from 5, and on the total here, we have a 41.5 juice to the under. And from a cash flow standpoint, we have 80 on the money line, 87 and 91 on the Saints, but I know that's not important at this spread. With this spread, 64% of tickets, 77% of cash on the Panthers. It's a public dog, road dog, but the market's moving towards them, so I feel okay about it. Troy on them as well, 84% of tickets, 83% cash on the over. Take it away for us here, Bobano. Big one for us, bum fight for some. Panthers Saints.
I'm higher on Carolina than tons of people this year. I've got them over win total and a shot to win the NFC South. I took a shot on them at that 10-1 that it was for them to win the NFC South. And it's not that I'm just gushing with adulation and impressed with Carolina. It's just that that's a horseshit division. And I have questions about Atlanta. I have questions about New Orleans. I have questions about Tampa Bay. What I know about Dave Canales is, look what Dave Canales did with Geno in Seattle when he was there. Best year in his career. Look what he did with Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay last year. Thought Baker's career was done, finished, shot. Dave Canales is there and resurrects Baker's career in 1 year, and it was his best season ever. Dave Canales can work with Bryce Young. The question is, will it show up in week 1, or is it going to take some time? The O-line, I think, is better. They bring in Deontay Johnson to give a viable second option with Thielen at receiver. And the defense, to me, was respectable, considering how much they were on the field last year, Carolina, because the offense was inept. I think it was respectable. This is more a fate of New Orleans. Dennis Allen's a miserable coach. I think he's absolutely lousy. Bottom 5 coach in the NFL. 24-46 straight up as a head coach in the NFL. And you want to lay points with Derek Carr's more than a field goal favorite? 9-19 against the spread in his career. Derek Carr laying more than a field goal. Check down Charlie, mistake prone. New Orleans was life and death to beat Carolina last year when these teams played. Too many points. Carolina could actually win this outright. Plus 4.5, minus 122 at FanDuel.
Plus 4.5. You know, the only concern I have is there's so many of us on it. But I get plus 4.5. What was the juice, my man?
Minus 122.
Minus
By the way, you
1.
remember week 1 last year for New Orleans against Tennessee? The offense stunk. The skin of their teeth. They won by 1 point. The ugliest win you'll ever see. I could see something like that today.
There are a lot of us on the Panthers, but not all of us. Our guy Wildman Samurai says Panthers are the worst team in football. Saints easy cash. I think the Panthers are much better than the Patriots. And yes, I used the term.
I think they've got the better coach, even though he's coaching his first NFL game as a head coach, quite honestly.
I'm so excited about this football game, this bum fight. We move on to a spot that I'm so close to, but I haven't moved on yet. I have interest in the Colts plus 3. I took them to make the playoffs at plus 140. Maybe that's enough for me with this investment right now. There's our guy, Dabby Cab. So many great cappers in the chat. I'd love to shout you all out, but we got to keep moving quickly here. Josh Downs out for the Colts. You know, that hurts. It's a blow. You know, there's just you want to spread that offense out instead of it just being focused on Pittman. Let's go through the line history here. This total is at 49. It opened up at 48.5, so it's at 49 right now. And this was, it's been a 49 for a while. So it's a little bit of a move up to the over. And on the spread, we have a 3 now. Of course, this opened up at 2.5, but it really opened up at 1.5. I mean, it moved. When did it move? It moved to 2 on the 7th of August. So I feel like I've been looking at the 2 or 2.5 for most of the last few weeks, but it did open up 1.5. So if you think of the 1 to 3, it's a huge move towards the Texans on the road. You know, division champs, huge season. CJ Stroud was a monster, but a very difficult schedule. Cash wise, 78% of tickets, 93% of cash on the over, and on the spread, 42% of tickets, 72% of cash on the Houston Texans. Take it away, Bobano.
Yeah, for this game, I'm on an over here. This is my second over the total for this card. I like both offenses to have success. It's worth noting, and by the way, I'll give you the number right now so you can lock it in. Over 48.5 minus 110 at Bet99. So there we go. Over 48.5 minus 110 at Bet99. Here's the one issue I have with Houston's defense, because up front they're pretty good. Secondary, is solid, led by Stingley. But I think when you look at the fact that sometimes with the running quarterback, they did struggle a bit. And obviously, I think you're going to see that a lot today with Anthony Richardson. So, and look, Anthony Richardson, we don't know how good of a passer he is still. He's erratic. He's inconsistent. But one thing we do know is he's athletic. I think Colts will be able to move the ball at home. Plus, Shane Steichen's a great head coach, offensive mind, had all offseason to get ready to face this Houston defense. So I think they can move the ball. Look, the Indy defense, I don't want to go too crazy about how preseason goes, Jimmy, but they didn't look good. Starting defense in preseason for the Colts, and obviously they're facing C.J. Stroud, all these weapons at receiver for the Houston Texans. I mean, everyone's there now. Tank Dell and everyone's healthy. They bring in Steph Diggs. That's going to be a tough offense for them to stop. So Texans will get their points. I like over 48.5. And as I mentioned earlier, I've got Colts teased up to plus 8.5 on multiple teasers.
Yeah, which is
beware of this game. Be careful for those of you that love Houston. Home underdogs, divisional home underdogs in week 1 have been like over 70% ATS. Crazy over the last like 10, 20 years.
Love the breakdown. Let's roll on. 4:05 p.m. Eastern. We have the Broncos, Seahawks, Lumen Field in Seattle, Washington. 71 Fahrenheit, sunny, 8 miles per hour. Nwosu is out, linebacker with a knee injury. Farrell Brown, tight end, out, and Lockett is going to play, being dealing with a thigh injury. Let's get into the line history here for this spot for our guy, Bobano. Seattle now 6.5-point favorites. This has been moving pretty quickly. The movement started on the 27th of August. It was a 5 back then. It goes to 5. It goes to 6. And we had 6.5 present itself at 10:32 a.m. this morning. So a legit move to the Seahawks, who have not been very good at home, but lots of question marks around what Broncos season's going to look like. You know, it's a very, very, very questionable moves by Peyton throughout the last little while. And this is his team. Total at 42, now 42.5. And when we get to the cash flow, we have 53% of the tickets and 35% of the cash on the Broncos. Seahawks 47 and 65. You know, I know people are using them for Survivor. I'm on the Bengals. This market is telling us that the Seahawks are going to take care of business here. 87% of the tickets, but just 74% of the cash. Not just, but 87% of tickets, 74% cash on the over. Take it away, Bowman. We got to speed it up a little bit. Broncos, Seahawks.
Yeah, I'll be brief here. This is an over for me, believe it or not. Now, I know there's a lot of people back and forth on this game, over under. It's over 41.5, by the way, minus 110 at PointsBet. Best of number right now with Denver, Seattle. When I look at this game, Seattle's offense, I think, will move the ball against Denver's defense. I'm still not ready to buy into Denver's defense being that good. I think for the Geno Smith, when you look at this offensive line, I think it's probably in the best shape it's been in some time for Seattle. Obviously, I think Jackson Smith and Jigba, I know Lockett and Metcalf are the veterans, but I think Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to have a huge year for them. And obviously, look, and I'm going to, this actually, there's 2 props I'm on in this game for official plays as well. We'll get to those in a minute, but I think Seattle moves the ball. Bo Nix is what are we going to get, right? First start ever. First-year rookie, on the road, tough environment. Mike McDonald now coaching this team, defensive-minded. But here's the thing. What have we seen so far? 3 teams with new defensive coordinators that have played already, right? Baltimore Thursday, Green Bay, Philly Friday. What did we see from all those defenses? They weren't very good, with the new DC in game 1. So I think there's an adjustment. I love McDonald and bringing in, but I think there's going to be an adjustment. Keep an eye on Ryan Grubb, the OC he brought in from Washington, who coached under DeBoer, played with pace in Washington. Apparently they want to run a little tempo here in this game, Seattle, at times. We'll see if Ryan Grubb lives up to that. But I think the total is just a bit low given all those situations. And even if Bo Nix struggles, he could throw a pick or 2. So set up Seattle in a short field. So over 41.5, minus 110 Denver, Seattle. And I'm on 2 Kenneth Walker props because I think this is one of the biggest matchup advantages for a single player on the board. Denver's run defense was horrid last year. I like Kenneth Walker over 64.5 rushing yards, minus 115 at BetMGM. And I will tack on score a touchdown, plus 106 at Pinnacle. Kenneth Walker.
Locked and loaded. Bobano, Walker, over yards, anytime touchdown, and the over 41.5. 2 spots left for Bobano before we have Clint, star of the Die Hard MMA podcast, rolling with us. So let's move on to your next spot here. It is Washington Commanders at Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. 88 Fahrenheit, chance of showers, 5 miles per hour. And We have Kalijah Cansey with a calf injury listed as questionable, and Trey Palmer with a concussion listed as questionable. Both are important pieces here. Their defensive end, Logan Hall, is out, and Jerzan Newton is doubtful, defensive tackle for the Commanders. Take a look at the line history here. We have a 3.5. There were 4s across the board. There's never been a 4 at Pinnacle, but it's certainly moving in that direction. -3.5 and -113 right now. That's the most expensive the 3.5 has ever been. So the market is still moving towards the Buccaneers. From a total standpoint here, we have a 42.5. It's -114 to the under. We see 42s at other books, but this was a 43. You could have got a 43 that was juiced to the over on Wednesday. Let's get to the cash flow for this one, and we have 58% of the tickets and 87% of cash on the over. So the over bettors must be concerned seeing this move to the under right now with all the cash on the over. And then you have 68% of tickets, 69% of cash on the Washington Commanders, and the line moving away from them at this point. Take it away, Bobano.
So I like I'm trying to think. I'm going to make Washington official too. +4, -110 at points bet for Washington Commanders +4. I like that. I like even more over 42. -110 at Bet365. We'll make both of those official though. The way I see it, look, I know it's Jaden Daniels' first start on the road. I think Tampa Bay is one of those teams I've got big question marks with. Everything that you saw about Tampa last year, not saying they were fraudulent. They had a good season. They did, and Baker Mayfield played well, but a lot of their games were close wins. There were times when they got out-yarded, out-statted, won the turnover battle. A lot of things went their way. I think it's a little bit different. And Tampa was a good dog last year, not always as good as a favorite last year. Look, new energy now with and look, Ron Rivera, I love the guy as far as a human being, but boy, coaching wise, it was awful for him the last 2 years. Terrible job. I think it's going to be an upgrade here for Washington, and I think Daniels, the element of surprise, can take Tampa Bay aback here. I think Tampa Bay can move the ball too, because Washington's secondary is still very, very suspect in my opinion. So Washington +4 over 42.5.
You got it. Your final spot is our Monday nighter, which you will be live for. New York Jets at San Francisco 49ers, joining us here on our NFL live stream. 64 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 15 miles per hour at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. We all expect Christian McCaffrey to be in the lineup, although they're still listed as questionable. Hufanga doubtful with the knee injury. Gross Matos out with the knee injury. I mean, what a mess the last couple of weeks have been. And, I'm a 49ers fan, and I've bet against them. I'm on the Jets +4.5. It's just been such a mess. But I see so many of us on the Jets, and that line's not really moving where I want it to. But this total is 45.5 down to 43.5 is the total. So a 2-point move towards the under. And on the spread here, we see 4s. Okay, good. That makes me feel a little better. Those 4.5s I did not like. But the 4.5s were never at Pinnacle. So we have had this 1-point move from 5 to 4, so that I don't know why I was as concerned. 26% of the tickets, 47% of the cash is on the 49ers. The public is on the Jets. Again, that makes me a little nervous. 26% of the tickets and 73% of cash on the under, and it clearly moving in that direction. Take it away and keep it tight, my man, because it's my fault that we've gone over, but take it away, Jets, Niners.
No, I'll just be brief. I'm on the Jets parade, unfortunately. I shouldn't say unfortunately. Hopefully it goes well.
Why do we feel that way?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't feel that way because I never feel that way, whether who's on what, who's not on what. I don't think that way. I think Jets is the right side here, +4.5, -110. I look at a team that's loaded on defense. I look at an offensive line that's been improved. Elijah Vera Tucker is huge to have him healthy. Don't forget, he got injured early last year, and that's when the offensive line really hit the shits. So having him ready is huge. Aaron Rodgers, is some question of an injury like that, how you play. But look at San Francisco. Didn't look right in training camp, all kinds of issues. Williams and Ayuk, no training camp and preseason for either of them. Now, I know it's going to be full snaps for Williams, limited for Ayuk, but even for Williams, an older guy, is he going to be ready to rock first game, play at his absolute best with no preseason, no training camp reps? I'm not so sure about that. And you've got the team that lost the Super Bowl being a terrible bet historically, Jimmy, in week 1 the following season. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Jets. They're as good as anybody. And if they're as good talent-wise, they play up to their talent, +4.5 will look like a bargain here against a San Francisco team that I think it's going to trend just a little bit down this year.
Bobano, our season 2 champion, is locked in. He's on the over 48.5 in Jacksonville, Miami. He's on the Giants plus 1.5 minus 108. It's first I've heard of anybody going up against this market move, and I love it. I'm going to live vicariously through you, but I absolutely love it. Panthers plus 4.5. Over 48.5 in Houston, Indianapolis, over 41.5 in Denver, Seattle. Commanders plus 4 in the over 42 in Washington, Tampa. Jets plus 4.5. And his teasers are Giants plus 7.5, Bengals minus 1.5, Giants plus 7.5, Colts plus 8.5, Bengals minus 1.5, Colts plus 8.5. Bobano, thank you for making time for us. Can't wait to have you back in business with us on Thursday. Of course, you're the star of the Ice Guys as well. Please support Bobano at Bobano Bets. For those of you back in action because of football, his last Twitter account got hacked and taken out. So please support the new one at Bobano Bets. Bobano, any last words for the Capper Sport in the show?
Yeah, good stuff. Good to be with you. Good to be back. Good to have the NFL Pub Up back. Good to have everyone in the chat with us. Good to be with you again, Jimmy. I'll be on Thursdays with you moving forward, so that'll be fun. And, of course, tomorrow night for the first half of Jets and 49ers. Looking forward to that.
I love it. There he is, Bobano. Chase officially active. Russell Wilson inactive. News coming in as we roll through. Let's bring on your next guest. He is the star of the Die Hard MMA podcast, and he's been a star of NFL Pub Hub, going now on to season 4. He's been with us all 4 years. Please welcome our friend Clint McLean to the telecast. Clint, how are you?
Morning, Jimmy. I got my ass absolutely handed to me in the UFC last night, so I have to remove the money bucket hat I am not deserving. But as you know, it is Viking Sunday, baby. Let's freaking go. I'm ready.
And you made a lot of money on our Thursday live stream, so you've started off the year going well. So let's focus just on football. And we start with your Minnesota Vikings, New York Giants. It's already been set up from Bobano and I, so the floor is yours. Take it away, my friend.
Jimmy, I am not a hater of the New York Giants. I actually think they're going to be a little underrated compared to what everybody thinks of them, but that doesn't matter, okay? My Vikings are still going to beat them today. We have one of the hardest schedules in the NFL this year. This is one of the most winnable games that we are going to get. Need I remind you, the last time my Vikings saw this New York Giants team, it was a first-round exit from the NFL playoffs. There's a one-season removed playoff revenge angle that I don't think anybody's really talking about here. The Vikings are going to be hungry for this game, and without Saquon Barkley, they're going to be really limited on their offensive options. Now, I drafted Malik Neighbors as a rookie in my Dynasty League. I got the kid. He's special. I love him. He's going to be incredible, but he's still a rookie, and he's still got Daniel Jones throwing him the ball. This defensive unit for the Vikings has made leaps and bounds of improvements. They're going to be a problem on the field today, and nobody is stopping Justin Jefferson. Need I remind you guys that JJ, with Nick Mullins throwing him the ball last season, 7 catches for 84 yards, 6 catches for 141 yards, 5 catches for 59 yards, and then 12 catches for 192. Sam Darnold is better than Nick Mullins. He will get my boy the ball. He's going to score a touchdown. Plus 120, Justin Jefferson touchdown. He's going to get a record-setting NFL 125 yards. They're only giving me 120 yards on DraftKings, but that's plus 330. Bet your ass I'm playing that. And then Vikings money line, Jimmy. I got minus 120. I know it's moved to about minus 115 at this point, so the number's a little bit better. I'm not laying points. My Vikings don't blow anybody out ever, so I expect this to be a competitive-ish game, but my Vikings are getting their hand raised at the end of the night. Vikings win. JJ touchdown. JJ yards over.
So JJ touchdown, JJ yards over. What was the yards over for JJ?
I added the alternative yards of 120 receiving yards for Justin Jefferson. Sorry to throw you a curveball on the show here, Jimmy.
No problem,
I forgot to text you this one.
No problem.
And it's plus 330.
Plus 330. So you had 2 spots, and you may not be making them official here for record-keeping purposes, but I want to touch on them. That's the first touchdown Sunday, the first touchdown by any receiver for JJ at plus 5,000, and the first quarterback to throw 400-plus yards to be Sam Darnold at plus 3,000. Are these just going to be bets, personal rec bets, or do you want to make them official here?
No, let's add them to the record, Jimmy. Let's go, because we're talking Sunday morning. We've got a loaded offense with the best wide receiver in the league, and you're giving me 50-1 that my boy Justin Jefferson will be the first guy to find the end zone going up against the Giants defense. Sam Darnold throws bullets. This kid's going off, and at 50-1, I've got to take the shot that he'll be the first one to find the end zone today. 50-1, JJ first touchdown this Sunday. And then this one's season long, so it doesn't have to happen today necessarily, but Sam Darnold to be the first quarterback to throw 400 plus yards. That one's a bit more of a stretch. It's 30-1. There's other quarterbacks that have arms and bad defenses they're playing against today, but I'm kind of expecting a bit of a shootout. And if these guys are gunslinging, why can't Sam be the first one with Justin Jefferson to get to 400?
Fun bets, and you've hit 100-1s on our live stream before you're in business. Let's go to your teaser quickly. Okay, so you are tying your teaser to the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's talk about who you're tying to the Bengals and touch on both games. Take it away.
Okay, so I did do a teaser with the Tennessee Titans and the Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase is playing. I don't care what the headlines say. He's going to suit up today, and I just think the Bengals are the much, much better team. 6-point teaser brought them down to -1.5 for me. I think that might be a -2 as of right now, but the Bengals simply need to win the game essentially for me to cover this. The Patriots have a good defense, yes, but they have a rookie quarterback and essentially no offense. I expect the Bengals to win this game kind of running away. They might even cover the actual number, but I'm a pansy, so I'm going to play it safe with the teaser. The other team here is going to be the Tennessee Titans. Guys, the Bears, everybody loves this kid coming out of college, I know, but he's still a rookie quarterback, and he's still on the Chicago Bears. They're not suddenly a whole new franchise. I know they've got some shiny new weapons, but they've got a fat wide receiver, and he's still got to get used to the NFL. Okay, so I'm just not buying in on the Bears hype. Personally, Jimmy, I played the Bears season win total under 9.5 already. I just don't believe he's going to come out here and do what my guy Stroud did last year. He's a 1 in a million and a soft division that he plays in. This is a hard division, the hardest division in the NFL, and expecting a rookie quarterback to come out and succeed immediately is something that I'm just not ever going to buy into. So even if the Bears win this game, they're not covering 10. So I will tease the 4 up to 10 and feel very comfortable that the Tennessee Titans can at least cover. I expect them to win the game, but again, I'm a pansy. I'll take the points.
I'm on the Titans +4. The question is, do I move on the over 6.5 wins at plus money? I've got only an hour and 20 minutes to make that decision. Let's move on for you. This has become a big game for me. Raiders, Chargers. Not only have I bet the Raiders, but my dad sent me $200 on the Chargers, and I did not send it in.
Right in the pocket, Jimmy. Straight in the pocket.
SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California here for this one. DJ Shark out for the Chargers with a hip injury. They're hoping Asante Samuel's out there. He's dealing with a shoulder injury. He's listed as questionable. And then for the Raiders, Bowers is there. They feel very good about this season despite the Cowboy Minshew at quarterback season long. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. This is at a 3, come down from 4. 3.5 was the last, we saw the 3.5 a little while ago. Right now, this Raiders +3 is juiced. If you want the Chargers -3, no vig. That feels very good to see that. Although I wish I got the 3.5. Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day was the Raiders this week at 3.5. This totals at 40.5, and it is juiced to the over. This has come all the way down from 43.5, a 3-point drop. And when we get to the cash flow for this one, we have 89% of the tickets and 62% of the cash on the over. Unbelievable. If I could be sitting here with that under 43 or 42.5 or even 42, I'd be so confident seeing those numbers. And then from a spread perspective, 74% of tickets, 77% of cash on the Raiders. So they're very public. Take it away for us here, Troy.
Clint, but close. I would like to be Troy one day. I like the Raiders as well in this spot, Jimmy. I just think this is going to be a defensive battle. You've got a rushing-minded head coach for the Chargers now. I know he's got a pass-first offense, but they got no one to throw the ball to, Jimmy. Justin Herbert, I heard all offseason about the injuries that he hasn't fully recovered from. He's still dealing with. I don't know if he's 100%. Frankly, I don't know that Justin Herbert's going to come out and gunsling, and I don't know what the game plan is going to be. And even if the game plan is, hey, light it up in the passing offense, I trust the Raiders defense, and he's throwing the ball to Josh Palmer and the worst rookie wide receiver we've seen in a generation. So I don't trust this Los Angeles Chargers offense to get off to a good start with all of the changes. Even though Harbaugh is an amazing coach at the college level, he should find success with this team when he has a chance to rebuild it over the course of time. Chargers headed upwards long term. I just don't think week 1 is the spot to buy in on them and lay points. I think the Raiders are going to be solid enough in this spot. Gardner Minshew is a big upgrade at QB. We might actually see some Devontae Adams because this guy does know how to target a wide receiver 1 and get them some points. I love Brock Bowers. I think he's going to be a potential breakout candidate. Again, I know it's tough with rookie tight ends. They don't usually do that, but if one was ever going to, I think it would be a Bowers. And then they've got this solid defensive unit. I just think the Raiders are going to surprise some people. They're not as god-awful as people are expecting them to be. I think they compete. I think they win their season opener. Might be all downhill from there, but I think they win this game today, Jimmy.
I hope that is the case. Your final spot on the board is also a spot our next guest, Mr. Sean Higgs, who was 2nd overall last year in NFL Pub Hub here on the channel, is on as well. And I'm on the other side, and I'm extremely concerned about it. Take it away for us here. Final game on the board for our guy, Clint. Rams, Lions.
Yeah, I'm just going to play it safe and go over on this one, Jimmy. I play safe. You know, I played over 52 in this spot. I feel like both these teams have such potent offenses with so much variety of what they're able to do. Defenses are going to struggle. I've seen the Lions firsthand as they are in my division, and it's really upsetting how good this offense is. The Los Angeles Rams now have both their wide receivers back, supposedly both healthy. If they're going to be healthy throughout the season, again, they're going to be healthy in week 1. So I'm expecting Kupp to do his thing a little bit more than, others potentially. And when he gets going, it's hard stopping him. There were multiple games last year where both Puka and Kupp broke 100 yards receiving in a game because they can just dunk on people when they get going. I expect this game to be a shootout, and I'm not picking a side. Just give me points, Jimmy. I'm going over 52.
And Havenstein is possible that he's not going to be out there. So that's going to hurt the Rams. They have a 5th-round pick that will be replacing him. That's offensive tackle there. Melifonwu, doubtful with the ankle injury, but this is a pretty healthy squad. And it sounds like DJ Reader is going to play. I'm sure he'll play, probably under 50% of the snaps, coming back from the quad. And I didn't touch on the line history in that one. So let me just touch on it quickly because Heritage has a 54 up now. There's a 52 juiced to minus 114 at Pinnacle. So obviously, I'm in terrible shape. I do not like any of this. 28% of tickets, 75% of the cash on the Lions. They've moved to 4.5. And then the total here in this one, 80% of tickets, 92% of cash on the over. And I would love it if the market wasn't moving. That's not the case. Market moving quickly. Let's review Clint's action. He's on the over 52 in Rams Lions. He's on Raiders +3 at minus 110. He's got a 6-point teaser, and it is a Titans Bengals. I thought I wrote that up. Oh, yes, I did. Titans +10, Bengals -1 at minus 120. And he's all over the Vikings game. Vikings money line. Jefferson touchdown +120. Jefferson 120 or more yards at +330. Jefferson to get the first touchdown on Sunday at 50-1. And Sam Darnold to be the first quarterback to go for 400 plus at 30-1. Clint, spectacular work. Star of the Die Hard MMA podcast every Monday. Let everybody know where they can find that, Clint. Thank you so much for making time for us.
No problem, Jimmy. I love being here. I love you guys. It feels like family. I'm back, baby. I am over at the home of fight, but real fast, Jimmy, we forgot one spot on my card.
Oh.
My Jackson Smith and Jigma player props. I'm not playing a side or a total in that game, but guys, it is JSN breakout season. Okay, I know DK Metcalf is the wide receiver 1 in that barn, but he's going up against the defense that's going to try to shut down the wide receiver 1. And what does that mean? Wide receiver 2 steps up and opens up, baby. And let's not forget the third man on the depth chart is dealing with some injuries. I think JSN breaks out, and I think JSN breaks out today, guys. I am playing JSN touchdown, Jimmy, +230. I am going to sprinkle JSN 2+ TDs at 19-1. And then I'm laddering his receiving props. JSN 40+ at -150. JSN 60+ at +180. And then I'm going for the throat with JSN 100+ receiving yards at 7-1, Jimmy. So I am just all in on Jackson Smith in Jigma today. Like I said, I expect him to break out this afternoon.
What was the 60+?
60+ is +180.
+180. Okay, you are in business. +180, 100 plus 7-1 plus 700.
There we
40
go.
plus minus 150, 2 or more touchdowns at plus 1900, and then anytime touchdown at plus 230.
Yep. And the way I ladder those, Jimmy, it's a bigger bet on the ones that are lower on the totem pole, obviously, and then you sprinkle smaller as you go down. So if you hit the big one, it pays for the ladder. If you hit the second one, now we're cashing, baby. And you just keep hoping you go down the line.
I love it. I love it, Clint. Thank you for rocking with us, and let us know, where can we catch the Die Hard MMA podcast every Monday?
We're on the Home of Fight, Home of Bets on YouTube channel, baby. And I am getting my ass whooped this season, Jimmy. I am doing terribly in MMA. So I need to keep it rolling in NFL here on PubHub. You guys are bringing me the good luck and the love. Let's cash today. Let's go.
There he is, Clint McLean. He had a monster year last year in UFC. You know how this works. It ebbs and flows, and he'll get back to wins in the cage. Let's bring on your next guest. What a performance he had last year with us. He was 49-42, but plus 18.82 units. In that divisional playoff round, he went plus 11.86 units on the show. He was extremely consistent, and he is just a hell of a capper and a great friend of the channel. Please welcome star of Midday Money, Mr. Sean Higgs in the house. Higgsy, baby, how are you? You're muted, my man.
Yeah, I had it muted because I was talking when I was behind the stage. Consistent with silent totals. I did get the big boost because I had I think it was like the Lamar prop. Somebody had propped up.
It was a Lamar rushing prop.
I said, just go crazy with that. So that kind of boosted me up there. So
it was something that both you and Birdie did last year in the playoffs, and we'll talk about it more as we get closer, but they were tying the player props to their action and hugely successful. But let's get to work. Higgsy, we start with Titans Bears. We've already set this one up, so it's time to hear your action.
Listen, the Bears are crap. I was just in the Chicago Sun with the Bears. I'm like, go under this total. These guys, forget about Caleb Williams. Rookie, forget this whole team. This is a joke. I got Titans 4.5. This guy's the best thing since sliced bread. Are you kidding me? Stop with the Bears crap already. Just move on. Just fade the. I already bet Texans next week -3 over the Bears. I think Titans could win this one outright here.
I'm with you. Well, I don't have them outright. Let me ask you very quickly here. Should I take the over 6.5 wins at plus money for the Tennessee Titans? I've been humming and hawing and hawing and humming and hemming.
I don't know. Listen, the South is tough. I think I like the Colts. I mean, we talk about them today too. So I think the hype is on the Texans. Everybody's sleeping on the Jaguars. Or last year, let's be honest. Last year, the Jaguars were the darlings. They were the Bears and the Texans of last year. Everybody thought they were going to take a step forward. So it's a tough conference, a tough division, I should say, for Tennessee. I don't know. We got to see how they do. They still have some talent, right? They got like Hopkins. Who's the other guy? Ridley. The guy loves to bet. You gotta love that.
I love their lineup. My question mark is Will Levis. What is your expectation of Will Levis this year? And I'm sorry, I know we got to move quickly.
He's every rookie quarterback. Who's he going to be? Is he the Caleb Williams type? Is he Justin Fields? Is he Mac Jones? Is he Purdy? I don't know what he's going to be.
Do you want the Titans plus 4 at -103 or plus 4.5 at -114?
Oh, 4.5. I'm always going to take the extra points here. I'll lay the 5 cents.
4.5 -114. That's available right now.
A good number.
I would love if you guys in the chat could jump in. Tell me what you think about this over 6.5 wins at plus 105 for the Titans. Still trying to figure out that one. Let's get right into the Texans Colts. You set it up. We've already set up the game, so we just want to hear your action.
Here we go. I mean, here's another one. This is just me fading the Houston CJ Stroud train. That was great last year. Now I got a second-year guy favored on the road versus a quasi-playoff team in the Colts. Why are we sleeping on the Colts team? I know Richardson doesn't play all that much, but I don't know. The guy who's backing up, Joe Flacco, came in. Didn't he win like 50 games for the Browns last year coming off the bench? The Colts are a good team. They have a good head coach. The quarterback play is solid. It's decent. I mean, if this guy's healthy, he's exciting. And I was down on him last year. But this is really, for me, the world on one side. This was a 2.5. It's a 3. It's bouncing back and forth. Colts 2.5. You know what? You want to give me money line? I don't care. Whatever you want to give me on the Colts. I think the Colts win. If I'm taking 2.5, I think they're going to win anyway. So,
see, I've got the Colts to make the playoffs at plus 140.
They're a good team. This is, Jimmy, people forget about the numbers. It's the thought process here in week 1. Everything is the Texans are going to the championship game and how good they were last year. Well, that was last year. Now everybody's got a year of film on this cat, where it's still questionable on the Colts because he hasn't played all that much. Come on.
We're looking very closely all of this here in the
They
chat.
are sneaky.
Yeah, I could easily add the Colts plus 3.
So here's the thing, Jim. I'm gonna look really good this weekend in all the contests. Circa the Millions, Westgate. I have 10 different dogs. I have 5 dogs in each, 10 different ones. I'm either going to come off as a hero or I'm going to get absolutely lambasted to like a 3-7 weekend.
Colts plus 3 minus 107. Colts money line plus 141. What do you want?
Give me the 3. I'll take the give me the
plus 3 at minus 107.
So as much as I like it, I gotta just go for the show record wise. I need the points.
No, I feel you. We got Brothers and Bets in the house as well. He was third last year, just behind you. You guys were so spectacular. He's going to be joining us today. Marley Bets, of course, have to have these champs back on week 1. Take it away, Commanders, Buccaneers. We already set this one up with Bobano. Just want to hear the action.
Yeah, under here. I got the Commanders last year, a lot of holes. I know they got the young quarterback. Who cares about that? I got Tampa, consistent, always a decent defense. The offense is going to be okay with Baker there. This is an underplay. Let's be honest here. I got another one. Another rookie quarterback on the road, people expecting miracles out of. Give me the Tampa defense to stymie him. And Tampa offense itself, what are they going to put up, 24 points? Come on, it's going to be like a 24 to – I should say that. Maybe Tampa Bay scores a little more than 24, but I'm not getting much out of Washington, so under 42.5. I just think rookie quarterback road, no thank you.
I have the Buccaneers over 7.5 wins.
Yes. In the South, everybody's on the Falcons. Take the Tampa Bay Bucks. They've only won it 3 straight years. Nobody's giving them a shot.
We want the hook for 4 cents, minus 114, under 42.5, minus 114.
Yep, that's fine.
We roll on to the next spot on the board. 2 more spots, and there are marquee games, which we hope you'll be joining us on our live stream, Higgsy. I will message you after the show. Rams, Lions, put the fear of God into me.
Normally, it's like this one. I want to take the Rams, and thinking, 2 quarterbacks, old teams, they know each other well. I don't know, too much offense. Like MMA guy was just saying, and he sees the Lions play. There's just a lot of offense down on both sides of the ball. The Rams lose. What's his name? Aaron Donald retired. That's a big gap to fill there. That's a huge loss. I don't care what you think of. Just as a team, he just kind of carried that defense. I see points here. I see a bunch of points here. Actually, you know what? I'll throw out a little Demarcus Robinson over 32.5 receiving yards if you want to go that route. We're a little player prop for the folks. I mean, not to put it for that's just me throwing one out there for everybody. It doesn't make a difference. I think we see a lot of offense here. 52.5, highest one on the board. Let's go over.
Yeah, I mean, we have 54 now at Heritage, 53s. I'm on the under 51 like an ass clown. Now, Razors come in with the under 52.5, which gives me stops me with this, just the horror that I'm feeling.
No, he's still licking his wounds. What's up with Jordan Love? Did he break his leg or whatever? That's terrible. Listen, I like the Packers last year. I had them to win to win the division there. I had the over win ticket for him, but that's not a good start. What a crappy field down there.
Yeah, I didn't mean to laugh. WT in the house, my man down in Costa Rica. It's good to hear from you and see you, my guy. Let's roll on to your final spot on the board. This is our Monday nighter, Jets Niners, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. We've already set this one up, so take us home.
Yeah, under the 43.5. Let's go. We got 2 good defenses. The Jets defense talks so much crap. They ran their quarterback to Denver, and I got Aaron Rodgers hasn't played in a year, so he'll probably be a little slow out of the gate. And San Fran, what do these guys got left in the tank after multiple Super Bowl runs and falling short every year and blowing 10-point leads in Super Bowls and 10-point leads in championship games to the Rams? That weighs on itself. Give me the Jets here. Underwise, I think the defense is going to come make a statement here to San Fran. Ugly game here. I'll go under 43.5.
But you're not on the side in this one.
Oh, no. I'm just saying, because of the defense, the Jets are going to – everybody's going to be talking about the Niners. Oh, CMC. I heard he's got a calf injury. Is he going to play ACL, whatever? I mean, come on. This guy's
to be
he's a plant and try to change direction and then blow out your leg away. So
if we're at Sportsbook right now and I'm like, here, take this $500, you get half of the profits on the side for Jets 49ers. Go up the window and come back.
I got the Jets in all my contests.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
There's our guy, Mr. Sean Higgs. Now, Sean, where can we see you? Midday Money popping off in 4 minutes.
Midday Money, Sean Higgs YouTube going. So I'm gonna go get some ice for my soda and that's it. Be back at it. Run them all down. Do all the tournaments, all the football pools I'm in and crap like that. I'll be on Sports Grid tonight with Gabe too. So I'll do him and I'll come in with you guys afterwards. So.
Oh, I love that. We love cabbing with you so much. Higgsy's on the Titans plus 4.5, Colts plus 3, under 42.5 in Washington, Tampa, over 52 in LA, Detroit, under 43.5 in New York Jets, San Francisco 49ers. Yes, he was second overall last year, plus 18.82 units over 12 shows with us last year. Higgsy, thank you for all you do. At Mr. Sean Higgs on X.
Take it easy, guys.
There he is. We roll on. So we just talked about number 2. It is time to talk about number 1. This guy in the playoffs last year on our show went 45-29 plus 35.55 units. Absolutely spectacular. Overall, he was 37.34 units up, and he was our champion. Not only was he our champion, but it was the greatest single season performance we've had in our 3 years of NFL Pub Hub. Please welcome from Kingston, Ontario, our friend Birdie Bets to the show. Birdie, how are you?
Well, Jimmy, how are you?
I am excellent, Birdie. Thank you for being here. Last year's champ in the house. How are you going to follow this up? We start with Steelers.
Play with 50.
Steelers, Falcons, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Take it away, my friend.
Before I get into that, I think Reader is out today,
Okay.
and I think that's why that total's going up, because that perception of the Lions being able to stop that run game probably is the reason why you're seeing that market go
That
up.
makes sense to me. I didn't think he was going to play, so I was surprised yesterday when I heard,
Yeah, I saw that
oh,
this
it
morning.
looks like, okay, but that makes sense to me. So keep rolling, my guy. We got Dougie Wise with Falcons as his play of the day. A lot of love for this Falcons squad, and we have the change in quarterback. Is that being confirmed for the Steelers?
I haven't seen anything official, but
Okay.
as of this morning, his calf was still a wonky and question mark. So in regards to this game, I'm on the Atlanta team total under 23.5. This is a bet on the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. I love the acquisition of Queen. I think it's flying way under the radar. The man's a tackling machine, and that defense, what it's missed from being just super elite the last 3 years is that middle defense of a linebacker position, and they got an elite one in Queen, and we kind of saw what happened with Quinn's production in Baltimore this week without him by his side. He didn't grade out very well in that game. I'm really high on this Pittsburgh Steelers defense, and I think they're in a pretty good spot versus a rookie head coach, a rookie OC, a rookie DC, a brand new quarterback in the system, and an entirely new offense and defensive system. So I'm going to take the continuity with the Pittsburgh Steelers defense here and take under 23.5 on Atlanta team total.
It's available minus 124 right now at Pinnacle. I'm going to shop around, see if I can get you a better line. Let's roll into the next spot for you, Birdie. Cardinals, Bills, 62 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 18-mile-per-hour winds at Orchard Park, New York today. Xavier Weaver with the oblique injury. A lot of excitement around this kid. He's going to be back next week. Joey Blunt and is questionable, safety. For the Bills, Dwayne Smoot is questionable with a toe injury. It wouldn't be an issue unless this defensive end, it's just this group is just so weak. To have an expectation that Von Miller is going to step up. We've asked Russo and Epinesa to do so much the last few years, but come on, like look at their numbers. I mean, these are not. I've a ton of concern around this. Now, you guys, we talked about it off the top. When this was a 6 and it went to 5.5, the Cardinals backers were giggling and ready for money line cashers and everything. Now this has gone back to 6.5 juiced. Troy was very concerned last Tuesday with his action, which he still gave out because he bet it, but he's very, very concerned. And now he's even more concerned. This total is sitting at a 46 right now. It was a 47, this morning. So it's going down quickly. And I wonder if I should get involved in that. On the point spread here, Birdie, we have these Buffalo Bills at 6.5. There are some 7s. Now, that 7 would be plus 111 for the Bills. But 6.5 across the board. It's been clearly moving in their direction for a while now. And when we get to the cash flow for this spot, we haven't talked about this one yet. People have been staying away from this game. 26% of tickets and 49% of the cash is on the under. God, I should probably move on that. And then on the spread, 67% of tickets and 60% of cash on the Cardinals. In this line, moving towards the Bills with 33 and 40. If you're holding a Bills ticket in your hand, you probably feel good about yourself. Take it away for us, Birdie. Cardinals, Bills.
Yeah, it's a long off season. People kind of get locked into their perceptions early on, and I think what we have here is a team that in Arizona that people believe they're going to see a bit of an increase on with the healthy Kyler Murray. Makes total sense. I like the Cardinals myself to take a step forward. But where the real disconnect is this Bills defense taking a big step back, which probably is truth. And then when you factor in they lost Diggs and Davis, and that offense looks way different, and you took out a really good player in Diggs, that this Bills offense started taking a little bit of a hit, I think, probably perception-wise. But when you look at this Bills offensive roster, it's set for 12 personnel, probably the best roster in the NFL that is game one ready to play 12 personnel. 2 elite pass catching, pass blocking tight ends, an elite running back, an elite rushing physical quarterback. I think this Bills team are going to be a dead nut Thunder team most of the year. I do worry a bit about the under in this game because I'm not as high on the Arizona defense taking that big of a step forward, because they really didn't bring in much in the offseason to increase the talent on that side of the ball. But they are healthier, and they are in their second season under that system with Gannon. So I would probably be comfortable with the under, but I'm happy with the Bills at 6.5 here. I think the Bills are going to be able to pick their score in this game. I think they're going to really kind of play a much slower offense, a more ball control, clock eating game. And I'm happy with taking the Bills here at 6.5. And I think you can still get a 6.5 at Bell Point at 110.
You can actually get a 6.5 now at -105. You can get a 6 at -115. Do you want the -6 at -115?
Sure, I'll take this.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'll take the
6
at
at -115. I'm surprised about that. That's at Pinnacle. -6, -115. Let's roll into Vikings Giants, Birdie. We've already set this one up. Take it away.
Yeah, this is a funny one. I had all the handicapping here, as far as why we should be taking probably the Giants in this spot. For me, listen, Darnold, when he was drafted with the Jets. Horrible organization. Went to Carolina. Horrible organization. He struggled early in his career. Without question, it's on tape. We can't argue it. But then he gets to go to San Fran, and he gets to spend an entire year with Kyle Shanahan and that San Francisco coaching. And for me personally, I think we saw it with Geno a little bit when he got to step back in Seattle and get behind Russell and get into Pete Carroll and the good coaching that Seattle had there. We saw an improvement out of him. And yeah, Dave Canales probably had something to do with it. I won't argue with that. But it's the culture that those teams present for players to allow them to grow and improve. And I think it would be irresponsible to say that Sam Darnold didn't benefit from being with Kyle Shanahan in that San Francisco organization for a year, to just reset, learn, fix some things. And now he's in Minnesota in a Shanahan system. I think he's a little bit undervalued, and I get it, and we do need to see it. So I'm comfortable taking Minnesota here. And the one thing in this game that I think is the biggest advantage is Brian Flores game planned this Dayball offense for 3 years when he was the head coach in Miami. So he knows this Dayball system. He pressures at an unbelievably high rate. And against this Giants offensive line, I'll let you all bet the Giants could stand up to this pressure on a defense that, yes, did lose Houston, but brought in 3 really, really competitive pro athletes on that defense. So I'm happy taking Minnesota here. I won't get crazy doing crazy stuff. We'll just go early, easy going week 1, but I'll take Minnesota. And I think you can get a pick 'em now somewhere at circa at 110, I think.
Yeah, this is starting to move back to the Giants, something I didn't expect.
Yeah.
Listen to this. You can get you -107 on the money line right now.
Let's take it.
For
Let's take
the
it.
Vikings. Vikings -107 for a Birdie. Shout out to WT, our friend down in Costa Rica. Says, low baggers, first drink is on me. The Jungle Bar in Barrio. I'm on Costa Rica. Just say pick 6. And WT will hook you up. All right, let's move on to the next spot on the board. Please, 2% milk. It was NFC South. Please, if you're going to put words in other cappers' mouths, make sure they are the correct ones. Titans, Bears, Birdie, take it away.
Yeah, I'm on the Titans here. Starting to get a little worried about this one because this line really isn't moving anywhere. and there's a ton of Tennessee money. I'm getting a bit concerned about this one, but basically I'll let whatever Higgsy said stand for me. I'm not backing this Bears quarterback until I see it, but I am getting very, 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 very concerned this line isn't moving.
I am getting a little concerned as well. Do you want the +4 minus 104 or the +4.5 and minus 114?
You better take the 4.5.
4.5 and minus 114 here for Birdie. Birdie, we roll on. You have a player prop in Patriots Bengals, a very interesting one. This is a spot that we haven't. Oh, we did set up, didn't we? We did set up. Yes, because there was a total with Bobano on this one. So take it away for us here. Player prop in Patriots Bengals.
No Higgins to reduce effort with State. I think this is going to be a running back heavy game for the Bengals out of necessity. I like Moss. I think he's going to fit in here probably better than Mixon from a production side. I think he scores a touchdown here, and I think given the opportunity he's going to have in this game, with no Barrymore, no Judon now, and kind of in the middle of that defense, I like Moss to get a anytime touchdown with that plus money.
You got it. Anytime touchdown at +125 for Zach Moss, locked and loaded. Let's go into the big one. Dallas Cowboys at Cleveland Browns, 4:25 p.m. Eastern, Cleveland Browns Stadium, Cleveland, Ohio. 65 Fahrenheit, sunny, 16 mile per hour winds. Not quite as thick and heavy as in Buffalo, 18 mile per hour, but 16 here. This is a huge one. We need Jack Conklin out there for Browns backers, and he's been dealing with this knee injury. Need him out there. Let's get into the line history here on this one. I'm on the Browns, and of course, our guy Troy Torrance is bullish on the Browns. We have a -2.5 here at Pinnacle, but there is a 2 at my bookie, and shout out to my bookie. For my bookie, Bet Online, Bovada, and Prize Picks, we have promo codes on our website. The Bet Online promo code, if you go through our link and put in Pub Sports, for only for new accounts, $1,000 bonus. 100%. So they'll give you $1,000 bonus, 100% bonus up to $1,000, and it doesn't have to be Bitcoin. It can be cash. Let's roll here. There's a 2 at Bet Online, a 2 at Bookmaker. So we've made a slight move back. At least Pinnacle still hanging at 2.5. And then when we get to the cash flow here for this one, we have 11% of the tickets and 10% of the cash on the Browns. Look, we knew the Cowboys money was going to come in, but whoa. That makes me feel okay. That makes me feel okay. Wow. The Cowboys tax, 89% tickets, 70% cash on the over. Birdie, touch on the total. I'm interested in the under here. Touch on it and take it away.
Honestly, I don't have much to give you here because really, the Browns at home, defensive wise, they're very an elite unit. They don't give up many points at home. Dallas, didn't have CD all spring up until a couple of weeks ago, so there hasn't been much continuity there. They lost Pollard, so I'd probably lean under in this game. But my oh my, did Dak Prescott ever just get paid? Holy jumping!
Yeah. Ooh-wee. So you think the vibe's going to be nice here for your Cowboys money line?
Yeah, I think when you really get above it, a lot of negativity against the 13-win Cowboys, and all they really lost out of their roster was Tony Pollard. People will come back and say, well, they lost those offensive linemen. Well, those 3 offensive linemen barely played in the last 3 years. So that offensive line has been a mash unit for at least the last 2 seasons, and they were still able to win 13 games. And now you bring in, first-round pick on that offensive line, and then that Connor Beebe kid at center. I'll challenge anyone to find me a bad report of what that kid looked like in the snapping the football. I'm not concerned about this offensive line. So for me, like the only thing that the Cowboys have lost is Tony Pollard, and he had a down year last year coming off that injury. This is the same Cowboys offense that we've seen in year over year. Now they do struggle against good teams, and I would classify Cleveland as a good team. I think there's some major questions there still on the offensive side of the ball. That to take a leap that offense is going to be good, I think is a major assumption at this point till we see it. But for me, it's Zimmer. I'm not sure if anyone's been following Zimmer and his interviews in the last week or so, but that's a very motivated man who wants to change the perception of him of being a bad coach. Is exactly kind of how he said it. And you look at when he was in Minnesota, his offensive coordinator was Gary Kubiak. So that Kubiak offense, no one knows it better than Zimmer. And luckily for him, the first 2 weeks of this year, he gets Kubiak offenses. So I think he's in a really good spot to have an advantage on the defensive side of the ball here, which would also bode well for your under if you're thinking about it. I would definitely endorse the Dallas money line if you can get into week 2 numbers still. I just think this is just a major mismatch for Zimmer, just based off the system he's playing today and next week. That's why I'm on the Dallas. I just think the perception on Dallas has gone a little bit too far. And other than Pollard, I'm not seeing this major decline.
Plus 123 on the Cowboys money line. And then your final spot is a parlay, 2-team parlay. Take it away, Birdie, my man.
Yeah, just keep this one simple. I like the Lions to win outright. I think there's a lot of variance in this game, especially with Reader out. So I'll take the Dallas money line, and I also like the Tampa money line. Again, there could be potential variance in this game because we don't know what that rookie quarterback is going to look like. But I do know Todd Bowles historically can defend rookie quarterbacks fairly well, especially a rookie quarterback on the road. So I'm just going to tie those money lines together and hopefully hit a nice little plus price here and move on to next week.
Yes, and I'm going to line shop for you and give you the best line on that. That is the Buccaneers and the Lions. Right now, the Buccaneers-Lions parlay. God, sorry. Here we go. Is at... Are they going to give it to me? All right. I'm going to have to pull it up here. Give me a second. But let's... Why not? Plus 121. Plus 121 right now is the Lions Bucks parlay. That's available at Pinnacle. Parlay Bucks Lions for Birdie, last year's champion. Cowboys money line plus 123. Zach Moss anytime touchdown plus 125. Titans plus 4.5 minus 114. Vikings money line minus 107. Bills minus 6 minus 115. Atlanta Falcons team total under 23.5. Please support Birdie on X at Birdie_bets. Birdie, spectacular work last year. Can't wait to see how you followed up, my friend. Any last words for the Capper supporting the show?
I love doing this. I love the people in the chat. Thank you for all the kind words. I'm glad we're back, and let's win some money today, everyone.
There he is, Birdie in the house. Let's bring on our inaugural champion. He was also in the top 5 and top 3 all of last season until a bad run in the playoffs. A legend amongst the low bag community, coming to us from Ocala, Florida. Please welcome the big Ragu to the show. Doc, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How you doing today, my man?
I am doing so good. I couldn't sleep last night out of excitement. I felt like a little kid. I just couldn't sleep. I was just like thinking about, look. And I've got some additions that I might want to make in the next 45 minutes as well. But Doc, let's get right to work. We just heard the Falcons team total under from Birdie, which is a look I had not heard yet. What is your plan for Steelers, Falcons, Mercedes-Benz Stadium?
I think this is a smash mouth game, believe it or not. I think we see a lot of run-heavy action from both sides here. I know they're going to lean Robinson. Harris has got to make up some ground from last year. We got some familiarity with, of course, Artie Smith going on the other side of the ball here. But Raheem Morris is a defensive guy. He brings his OC from the Rams with him. So I think they're going to – I know the markets are showing Atlanta. But Tomlinson's numbers as an underdog, 57, 31, and 3. 64%. There's only 2 coaches that are better than him as LaFleur and Daboll. They're like at 70%, 60%, 66%. Small sample size though, like 20 games. But the tenure of Tomlin and the dog roll. But I love the under here, guys. That's the play I like. So that plays into Birdie's action more or less. So I'm all over the under in this one, guys. So you know what? I'm gonna go Pittsburgh's way too. I'm gonna take Tomlin as a dog ATS here too. So I'm going to take the under and Tomlin.
I'm on the under as well. I'm a little concerned that you can get a 43 now. Under 43 at minus 107 for Ragu. And then we have the dog in the Pittsburgh Steelers, which you can get now at plus 4. Steelers plus 4. Yeah. At minus 105. Again, that's available at Pinnacle. Let's roll on. Next up for Doc, Cardinals, Bills, Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. Take it away.
Yeah, this is my most nervous spot of the day, actually, on the show picks, and I have them in the contest play too. I wanted to come at Arizona's weak defense, find a way, but I'm getting mixed messages here. I was going to look towards the Buffalo team total, which is, you need 4 touchdowns to get there, but the markets are moving the other direction with the total, so that's kind of got me a little bit nervous. So I'm going to kind of try to keep this real clean here, guys. Murray is a good dog back too, but Buffalo's average like 12 points or better at home wins, where a lot of the road losses for Zona have been plus better than 7. But Murray was out a lot of those games last year too, so he gets back in the saddle. We talk about the pieces that have departed, but like to Birdie's point, they've got a lot of nice pieces in place, to kind of run that offense. So I still think the cleanest look here for me is laying the 6.5 at home with Buffalo. It's probably, like I say, my most nervous pick, but I still like it. So put me on Buffalo minus 6.5.
Wow, it's so interesting how this is flipped to the Bills being backed by the Sharps and the public on the Cardinals and line moving towards the Sharps. It's just a fascinating game. I can't wait to watch and see how it all bangs out. Bills minus 6. We can get you that minus 6 though, at minus 115 or minus 6.5 at minus 105. What would you prefer?
I'll do the minus 6.
Minus 6 and minus 115. That's the same spot that Birdie is on. We move on to Texans Colts. I'm all ears. This could be an addition. Take it away.
All right, here we go again, guys. So what can we say about last year with the Texans, and they kind of bounced the Colts out of the playoffs. I'm not going to use the revenge factor here because, we're talking professional athletes and you hear a lot of that nonsense going back and forth, but let's look at it from an offensive line standpoint for both teams. I think they're a little bit light on the right side are the Texans here. And I really love this offensive line for the Colts, especially the center, who's probably the best pass protection center in the league. We got to keep AR healthy here in this spot here, but I think we're going to see a lot of Jonathan Taylor. We know that the Texans are loaded. The Texans are loaded all the way around with weapons. I think this is going to be a very public team going forward this year. I like the fact that we do have Flacco waiting in the wings, so hopefully we don't have to see him at all. But I think this is going to be a tighter game than people think as far as the number goes. So, but probably the cleanest play here is going to be the Colts getting the points at home. Home dogs in the division is a big thing for me, and it comes right out of the gate early on. So, I'll take the 3. I'm not going to get greedy taking the money line here, but I would support the Colts to win this game outright. But for show purposes and all intents, give me the plus number.
Plus 3 at minus 107. Raymond Reichart, that's his best bet on the board as well. Okay, I'm in. I'm in. I've got to decide then on that. I guess if I'm so bullish on the Colts, I don't know why I would really take the Titans team total over 6.5 wins, even though I like it. And then I got to decide whether I want the Dallas Cleveland under. Next spot for you, Doc, is Rams Lions. Rams Lions is his last single bet, and then we move into his patented teaser. Take it away, Ragu. Rams Lions.
Yeah. So what do we do in prime time? We keep it clean again, guys. We smash the under in this game, guys. Everybody's going to be thinking offense all across the field. And, and this is, like I say, maybe another revenge spot for the other side coming in. But, I know McVay is really good at cleaning up offenses and putting things together and bounce back spots. And he's mentored a lot of QBs, but Stafford is his prime student. I heard about the losses on the defensive side. Yeah, I get all that. But, the familiarity here and, coming back on the primetime game, the number's up there, guys. What are we looking at? 53 points?
54 now at Heritage.
54. You know what? The public's going to be all over the Lions, and they're going to be all over the over here. And don't bet this. If you're going to bet the under, bet it like about 5 minutes before the game goes, 10 minutes, something like that, because you're going to get the better number there. But I'm going to smash the under here. Hopefully I can get on with you guys. I I got to go to the hospital when I get off here. My dad's got surgery in the morning, so I'm going to go watch a couple games when I'm at the hospital. So if I get the opportunity to pop in, I will do that with you. But guys, bet the under. Do yourselves a favor. Public's going to be all over the over.
I love it. I just wish I hadn't moved on it already, like an ass clown. Under 54 minus 108, and we send our thoughts and prayers with your pops, with Ragu Senior, sending all of the positivity here. So if everybody in the chat can take a second, surgery in the morning for Ragu's dad.
His name is Dom.
For Dom, send all the positivity Dom's way, all the healing energy we can for his surgery in the morning. Thinking about your dad, thinking about your family, Big Ragu, my friend. Take it away for the teaser, my man.
Yeah, well, it's a tradition, right? We got to come away with a teaser as the last spot. I like, on the surface, I really like this Raider squad, and a teaser. Usually those games go, field goal type games, outside of everybody but Kansas City, but everybody else involved in that type of atmosphere in the AFC West, it's usually like a field goal type of game. And Pierce has been spectacular in a dog role too. So I would back that wholeheartedly. It's not one of my plays, but it's a very public play right now. That kind of got me nervous. So my initial thought was to get involved with the Bengals. And there's some question marks there with the receiver situation, but I think it's going to pan out fine. So I'm going to tease the Bengals, and I know Troy likes that spot there. But you know what I think the cleanest tease would be? Seattle at home right now. So I'm going to put together the Bengals and the Seahawks in a two-teamer, and we're going to call it a day.
And I believe that Seahawks is -0.5, but let me see if there are any sixes left on the board for that spot. No, so it's -0.5.
Yeah,
for the Seahawks, and then the Bengals is a -1.5. And you are in business, my friend. The Big Ragu, our inaugural champ here on NFL Pop Up. Bengals -1.5, Seahawks -0.5 is the teaser. He's on the under 54 in the Rams, Lions, +3 at -107 on the Colts, Bills -6 at -115, and the under 43 in Pittsburgh, Atlanta with the Steelers +4 at -105. You're getting a lot of love in the chat. Richly deserved, my friend. Doc, any last words for the Capper Sport in the show?
Let's have a big day, guys. Usually NFL started slow for me, but last year I came out on fire, so hopefully repeat that process, and I wish everybody best of luck in their games. Then we'll see you soon.
There he is, Doc, in the house. We move on to our next guest. What a performance last season. What a performance from our next guest, star of the Brothers and Bets YouTube channel. He came on and opened up in his first two shows here, 7-1 plus 6.16 units. As he went through the entire season, so we are talking 12 weeks he was with us, his very, very worst performance was 2-3 minus 1.25 units. It was unparalleled consistency. I've not seen that consistency from any capper before in our show. He finished 37-21 plus 15.34 units. A youth football coach, when he has, in his off time, he's just a class act, leads by example, and we love him. Please welcome star Brothers and Bets. We got Marley in the house, Texas Strong. How are you, my man?
Hey, what up, Jimmy B? What's going down? Had our first game yesterday. 47.
How'd it go?
47-0, man. Easy day at the office.
You guys, I love what you do with the kids, man. A ton of respect from all of us here at Pub, and I'm sure in your community. Let's get right to work, Marley. Last year was just the consistency you delivered, the confidence you did it with. Very impressive. We started at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I know you're going to make me a little uncomfortable with what I would like to add here to my action. Take it away.
Probably. Hey, shout out to the coach, man, my partner in crime. He been killing NFL since it started on Thursday night. Shout out, Coach. I see.
Coach is the man. Yeah.
All right, man. Let's get into this. I know we late, so I'm gonna push it real quick. Houston Texans, Colts. I'm a homer. All right, I'll start by saying that. I'm a homer. I'm from Texas. I'm from Houston. Hey, but with all that being said, I hear a lot of talk about the Colts, and yes, division game, so it's gonna be tight, what most people think. But offensively at Houston, we are explosive back here, especially not that before we had the addition of Stephon Diggs. People forget about Tank Dell. Tank Dell's back also. So now we're talking a three-headed monster at receiver with Collins, Tank Dell, and Diggs. And then we pick up Joe Mixon, and the offensive line was in shambles last year. So CJ Stroud did all this with a rink-dink offensive line, patching it together week in and week out, and also with his primary receiver hurt, or his most explosive receiver hurt in a, I don't want to say terrible run game, but a less than average run game. I think we only averaged 92 yards a game last year. So I don't see the Colts being able to stop us offensively. So with that being said, Jimmy, I'm gonna take the Houston Texans team total first half over 10.5. I just don't see this defense being able to slow us down. Now offensively, everything that everybody's talking about with the Colts offensively is going to be dependent on how good Anthony Richardson is. That man played 4 games last year. I'm not saying he won't be good, but I'm saying we don't know how good he's going to be. And we do know he's a big body. He likes to run. If that's not there, what are we going to see? Jonathan Taylor. Love Jonathan Taylor. Great running back. Got it running down. I think our defensive line is going to be one of the top 10 defensive lines in the league this year. With the additions we had on defense, I think our back end is going to hold up against these receivers. So with that being said, Jimmy, personally, the play I'm giving out on the show is the 10.5. But personal bets, I took the Houston Texans. I took the under the total. I took the 49 because it's either going to be, I think it's going to be a tight game because it's a division game. And if the Colts win, it's going to be low scoring because they're going to be able to run the ball. But I don't think they'll be able to stop us offensively. For the show, Houston Texans first half team total over 10.5.
And what is the juice of that? Pinnacle's not offering that first half team total, which is
I got it at, let me put it up real quick. I got it at hold on, pending bets. Let me click on my pending.
You're the I'm
too sick.
Yeah, because it's all over the map. But try and find it. Take a second. I'm gonna set up. Okay.
Got it right here. It's juice. I got it at -130.
-130. Team total over 10.5. Yeah, it's 12.5 at 360. Oh, -130 says Truth Teller Bet Online. Thank you, Truth, my man. Okay, let's roll here. Next up for us, Steelers Falcons. Can't wait to hear your breakdown on this one. Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We just heard Doc talk on it. Let's hear you, my man.
I'm with Birdie. Birdie touched on my points on this game. We got a new offensive coordinator, new head coach. We got a quarterback who's coming off an Achilles injury. We don't really know how this is going to mesh. And I love what the Steelers have done defensively with the addition of Patrick Queen over here. And that Steelers defense was good last year. They just had a lot of injuries. So you got everybody back healthy. I know what I'm getting at Mike Tomlin. I know the Russell Wilson is going to be out. I think I've heard last. I know he was questionable, but Justin Fields was just being prepared to be the starter as well. That was a fight all the way through the end of preseason. So I'm okay with him being there. I think we get a low scoring game. I'm on the Steelers. I caught it at a 4. I see it's dropped to a 3.5. I'll still take the 3.5 if it's available.
3.5 locked down. And I noticed the team totals. Why are you not on? Because you hammered the first half team totals, not on this one. Touch on that.
Just because. So I looked at the 7.5 because that's kind of one of my things. Team total first half. I'm not real. I need to see the Steelers offense go at it. I'm not super high on them being able to score right now. I do like the additions that Atlanta has done on their defense with Judon. I think they're going to be really good on defense this year. And they're at home. Steelers on the road, new offensive coordinator. I like the number. The number's great, 7.5. I almost pressed the button, but I decided to just take the 4 points.
Steelers at +4 is -105. 4.5 is -115.
Give me the 4.5.
Steelers +4.5, -115. So, with all of the love for the Falcons, interesting to hear our guys, Ragu and Marley, back-to-back backing the Steelers. Roll on to Cowboys Browns. I can't wait to hear your breakdown. It's already set up. Take it away, my man.
I'm with you, Jimmy. I'm on the Browns. I love the defense. Defense at home, one of the best defenses at home last season. I don't see why that won't continue. The Cowboys, we know what they are. At home, very explosive, very good on offensive. Dak's throwing the ball all over the field, but on the road, it's night and day. Jekyll and Hyde. And then losing Pollard too for me. Who's going to run the ball? Is Zeke the starting running back? We haven't seen a good Zeke and probably it's been a couple years. CD Lamb just got there. So how what's his shape? What's his condition? What's the connection? Are they just going to be able to flip the switch and turn it on like that? Yes, I know everybody got paid. It's going to be all smiles and Hallmark cards, and that's cool. But I don't know. That defense at the crib, Deshaun Watson, I know he's not been the Deshaun Watson in Houston, but if I'm not mistaken, when he played quarterback last year, they were 5-1. He's coming off a shoulder injury, didn't play in the preseason. Cowboys defense, I don't know if it's going to be as good as last year. No, they didn't bring in a lot of free agents, but there's a lot of starters that didn't start last year. So, yeah, you got Parsons and you got Lawrence, but Vander Esch is gone. The cornerback, I can't think, is gone. Diggs comes back. Branch is hurt. Not Branch. Bland, I think he's hurt. Is he playing this game?
Juwan Bland's out.
Out, right. DeJuan Bland's out. So I think we'll have success with the Browns offensively. I'm on the Browns here, Jimmy, -2.5, especially when they win under 3.
I love it. Browns -2 at -110. Next up, we have Commanders, Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium, Tampa, Florida. Take it away. We've set this one up as well.
Yeah, I think Higgs was on this one. I'm with Higgs. We got a rookie quarterback coming in. Todd Bowles is going to have the defense at least ready to play. Baker Mayfield, I think he played all right last year. So I'm just really doing a fade of the rookie quarterback coming in. I took the Bucs first half. I think I caught it at 2.5. 2. It was under a field goal.
I will line shop for that right now. The Buccaneers first half. I imagine it would be under a field goal, an important number. We have, yes, -2.5.
Yeah, under that field goal.
Yeah, and the best line available, -120.
I'll take it. Yeah, this is just a rookie quarterback, first game, new head coach. Everybody got to learn a new system defensively. Todd Bowles, I'm sure his record against rookie quarterbacks is probably. I should have looked that up, but I didn't look that up. But I know his defenses are typically pretty good. So I expect Daniels to struggle. Plain and simple. I think that's going to be some easy money here.
You are locked in. Buccaneers -2.5. Browns -2. Steelers +4.5. Texans first half team total over 10.5. And our guy, Marley, fresh off a 37-21 season with us, plus 15.34 units. Spectacular work. Marley, tell us a bit about Brothers and Bets, where our cappers can find you and Coach's action. Take it away.
Yeah, man. I gotta figure out how to get that symbol just from being behind me right there. But yeah, man, Brothers and Bets streaming on all platforms. Catch us Wednesdays. I do the NFL show Wednesdays around 5 o'clock. Me and Coach do the college show same day, just around 9 o'clock that night. So one channel, one day, 2 college and football, all the football you can get right there. Come check us out.
You are locked and loaded. 2%, Perky, whatever name you want to use now. Please, you're just relentless, man. I've never had a hater this relentless before. Please don't spam the chat. We're trying to focus. Let's review action here across the board here. We got Brizzy coming up next. Excellent job from our guy, Marley. Let's review action. So I'm going to add this Colts +3. I only have 24 minutes to do it. I still need to figure out, I guess, this Dallas Cleveland under. Maybe it's just gone too far. Maybe I should just, these ones that I don't need to feel like I physically need to force myself to bet. Maybe I should just let go. And it's going down so quickly here. So that 42, there's even a 41.5 now. Oh, it's coming back up a little bit. So maybe I could wait a second. It's at 42 right now, down from 44. So those would be the additions that I would make as we wait for. We have Brizzy and Dutch Boy Fresh finishing off our show here today. When we get to the total cash-wise in this Cowboys spot to decide whether or not I move on this Browns Cowboys. Let's see what we're dealing with. 12% and 29%. I mean, it's just such a tiny number. I feel like I should move on it. I feel like I should move on it. So those are the two I'm going to add. I'm going to add them. I'm going to add them. A review quick of our highlighted action. We got Brizzy joining us here in a second. Tone Miggins gave us the levels play of the day on Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown plus 107. Lamont Williams max bet is the Vikings, and he's got a parlay Saints money line, Vikings money line, and the Bears money line. We have Wine Time Sports full card Panthers +5 at -120, Cardinals +6 at -110, Commanders +4 at -110, Raiders +3 at -120, and he's got the Browns money line. Justin McKelvey stacks play today. We got Will Levis over 239.5 passing yards at +104, and Najee Harris over 79.5 rush and receiving yards. It looks like we'll move on to Dutch Boy Fresh next instead as we wait for our guy Brizzy. DC Capper, thank you so much. Thank you so much, my man. So a quick review of Troy Torrance's action here. Troy has moved on. Let's get this up here. Troy has locked this in. He is sitting 3-1 on the season right now. He's got Panthers +4, Panthers +4.5, Panthers money line, Cardinals +6, Cardinals money line. He's very uncomfortable with those two spots. He's got Colts +2.5, Colts +8.5, Bengals -2.5, Bengals versus Patriots under 40.5, Browns money line, Browns -2.5, and then the triple up on the Jets money line +4, +4.5. And then he's added the Raiders +3 and the Raiders money line. Let's bring on your next guest. We don't have Brizzy, but we have our final guest ready to rock and roll. Please welcome the co-host and star of Medicate Mondays here every Monday at 11 a.m. NBA, NFL, NCAA football expert coming to us from Las Vegas, Nevada. Please welcome Dutch Boy Fresh. Dutchy, what's good, man? Happy first Sunday of the year. How are you?
Jimmy, the motherfucking bad. Salute to you and all the real ones holding us down. I'm good, man. Sunday, fun day. We've been waiting. And the time has come. Let's get to this bag, my guy.
Well, let's get started. You get your card started with the Pittsburgh Steelers at Atlanta Falcons. Thank you for jumping in early as Brizzy not backstage. Thank you, my man.
Didn't even have time to roll the plane, but it's business, man. It's business.
You're the man. Thank you for jumping in. Take it away for us here, Steelers Falcons.
Yeah, man. This game right here, obviously the line has moved a little bit. So what we'll do for official is I am on the Atlanta Falcons first half -2.5, -115, and they also are one part of my leg that we'll talk about here in just in a little bit. So I did take the money line as well. Simply, I think obviously Justin Fields. I made this bet earlier in the week and got a better line on it, thinking that we'd be attacking Russell Wilson. You know, I'm not high on Justin Fields, but I'm even more suspect of Russell Wilson. I've seen what he's made of in Denver, and I absolutely know his ass is going to spend more time on his back than on his feet. Justin Fields holds on to the ball a lot, will make plays with his legs, but at the end of the day, there's levels to this shit. And God damn it, Atlanta's just on another level. I like Kirk Cousins coming in off the injury. They got two dual running backs. They got a stud offensive line. They got two solid wide receivers and a stud tight end. I like the addition of Judon and Simmons. I think the secondary will be pretty damn good this year. And one of the big things about this is Pickens is an absolute stud for Pittsburgh. I agree. But they have Terrell on the side, who's a pretty goddamn good corner in this league. And after Pickens, who the fuck do you have on Pittsburgh? They literally don't have a two. I know Fairmouth is a solid tight end, but outside of that, they're pretty skeptical in my opinion. So Terrell likes to travel. You make him go wherever Pickens goes, and I have a feeling it's going to be a long football game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And also banged up Warren in the back, riding a lot on Najee Harris. Don't be surprised if you see Cordell Patterson get off in his old town. But I like Atlanta here. First half, 2.5, -115, and I like a full game money line. I got him parlayed once again with the Lions tonight. We'll talk about that.
What a switch for X's and O's. I mean, I know that they're not that different, Fields and Russell Wilson. It's not, like apples and oranges.
Well, one wants to run and one doesn't. Justin literally wants to run. Last thing Russ wants to do is run.
But he loves to be outside the pocket, panicking. So, I mean, it's
fucking do the little two-step, but yeah.
We roll on to the next spot on the boards. Patriots, Bengals, Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Dutchy, take it away.
Did that line move to 7, Jim? That's not true. On the Falcons?
If it did, it would be because Jamar is not going to be in the lineup. Let's take a look right now.
I just seen the chat, so it stood out to me. Shout out to all the real ones in the chat. Run up them likes.
We got right now. You can get the Bengals -7 at -117.
No, I was referring to sorry. I was referring to the wager detective says Falcons line to 7. I see.
Oh no,
Okay,
he
my
likes
bad.
it all the way to 7.
Okay, yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. My bad. Let's get to it. Bengals. Another game here, Jim. I know you're high on the team total under, I believe, on the opposite side for New England. I love that look. I've seen it's dropped. I'm gonna stay away from that, but I'm gonna go under 41. I think this is an improved Cincinnati defense. Obviously, they did. They're bringing back Hubbard and Hendrickson, two really good pass rushers on that D line. And then, of course, solid duel in the linebacker group as well. Two new safeties that I think are really going to help the Cincinnati Bengals defense. And most importantly, I think they got a fucking chip on their shoulder. And they get the New England Patriots, who realistically, outside of a above average run game and above average defense, this team is probably the worst team in football, in my opinion. I'm skeptical about the coach. Haven't really loved what I've heard out of camp. And Jacoby Brissett is running the fucking show. We know what this guy's going to do, and it's mediocre at best. I think their defense will be solid. I do think the Bengals will be running the ball a little bit more with, the Chase Brown, who came on big last year from Illinois. I think he's a dual threat, can really move the ball, not only running the ball, but out of the backfield as catching the ball out of the backfield. They bring in Zach Moss. I think that's going to help them a lot. I don't expect the Bengals to wow you offensively. I just think it's going to be just smash it down their fucking throat. I see this game being probably like 24-7, something like that. I got Bengals -7. I paid a little juice for that, Jim. Give me the best number you can on that. And I also got under 41. I simply think the Bengals are just going to smack these boys around and run it down their throat for 4 quarters. And the reason why I'm really comfortable with this under is because T. Higgins is, I believe, is banged up. Chase Higgins just coming back. They don't have the weapons. They did get the tight end from New England. They don't have the weapons that are going to strictly wow you, but I think Burrow is out to prove that he is one of the better quarterbacks in this league. The injuries have kind of held him back the last couple of years. Cincinnati Bengals -7, and the under is good money.
You got it. -7, -117. We can get you an under 41.5, -108. I'm also on that under. I don't like seeing it moving.
Man, it was 40.5 when we were talking about it on Thursday.
I know. Makes me uncomfortable, but I
think
believe
Chase coming back and then seeing that, they'd expect points. But I still think the Bengals are going to do a lot of dink and dunk and get the ball out of Burrow's hands fast. I think that O-line is improved as well.
Yeah, it's too bad that we can't get Mims out there. You use a first-round pick to fortify your offensive line, and he's out with the pectoral injury for the Bengals. But I'm right with you. I'm right with you. Let's talk about this Sunday night banger we have tonight. Our live stream going to be so much fun. Rams, Lions at Ford Field. Dutchy, take it away.
Yeah, man. This team, to me, the Lions and the Atlanta Falcons have a lot of common to me. I think these are two teams that we can be betting on, especially at the crib, and in the regular season. And when we talk playoffs, that's a whole nother motherfucking story. But we got a while for that, so let's make money while we can. And I believe the Lions are a bet on team here. The Rams, they do have Williams in the backfield. I believe he's above average running back. I know Stafford is. I've been high on Stafford for years. But this guy hasn't fucking really played any. He's coming back from the hamstring injury. We know those things tend to linger. Has practiced, the last couple of weeks, but really set out the whole fucking preseason and didn't do much. So I do expect him to be a little rusty. People think, oh, Matthew coming back to Detroit and then the revenge factor of last year. This motherfucker already got a Super Bowl. He don't even think about Detroit no more. He's in La La Land living his life. Believe that. He does not give a fuck about the Motor City. However, I do believe the Lions are out to prove that it's no fluke. I believe Goff is still fuck you to LA. I still believe he's a little bit bitter about them saying that he wasn't good enough. And I think, the Williams cat from Alabama being healthy this year, this guy's a fucking lightning in a bottle. We've seen what Xavier Worthy did to help out the Chiefs. I expect somewhat of the same here in Detroit. And then obviously Brown, they have 2 stud wide receivers. They got a stud tight end in Porta and 2 stud backs with Jared Goff. Just don't fuck it up. The defense improved on the D-line and in the secondary. I really like the Lions here. It's Sunday night, so shit could get a little funky. I took a money line with the Atlanta Falcons at +120. And that line might have moved. So if you can't give me the best. But I like this look an awful lot. Atlanta Falcons money line, Lions money line +120, 2-teamer, little 2-piece.
Yeah, we can get you that at +125 actually right now
Let's do
over
it.
at Pinnacle. So that is the Lions Falcons at plus 125, two-team parlay here. Now we move on to two exciting player props here. Cardinals, Bills, player prop number 1. Take it away.
Yeah, man. So I started a new thing. I tweeted this out on Tuesday. It's gonna be the cream of the props. That's right. Not the cream of the crop, the cream of the props. And I tweeted this out it's my 4 guys. Now, Jim, we've been doing this prop thing. You put me in this, honestly. When we started doing this a couple years back, never bet a prop in my life. Started doing it. And what I realized over the couple years is I'm good at the running. I'm good at quarterback props. Now, when I do anytime touchdowns and all this other bullshit, hey, I'm not a lucky motherfucker. I just never been in my life. So got to do the research, got to do it. And what I've realized is I can profit off these quarterbacks running the fucking football. I went to the gym and I fucking blasted my legs today because I know these boys are going to be running with their legs today. I got Josh Allen over 33.5. I did tweet this out on Tuesday, I believe. Hopefully it's still available there. But over 33.5 rushing yards. We know about Diggs gone. We know about his his top 2 wide receivers are gone. They bring in Coleman, they got Shakur. Everybody's wondering who the fuck are they going to throw the ball to? They will run the 2 tight end set, and Josh Allen is the best fucking running back on the field. I'm very happy with what Cook did last year, but don't get it twisted. Josh Allen is their best option running the ball. It's the same damn thing going on in Baltimore. Last 4 games, Josh Allen touched the field. 72 rushing yards, 74 rushing yards, 67 rushing yards, 44 rushing yards against better competition, and that was even in fucking late January or early January, late December football games. Last 4 easily over 33.5 is good money. Jim got that at minus 115. What's available now?
You tweeted it out. We'll keep that as official. That's part of how we do things here. If you tweet it out, you make it official, you lock it in. Rushing yards for Allen over 43.5, rush yards at minus
33, baby.
Sorry?
33.
Oh,
33 and a half.
Wow. That is a beautiful line. You know what? I will take a look and see what it is now. That's over 33. That sounds ripe, especially with 18-mile-per-hour winds. If he finds that he can't throw the ball or with as effectively as normal, these deep drops.
And this game, I do believe, will be close. A lot of people like in Arizona. I'm not mad at that. I feel like Buffalo will find a way to win. But I see this game going back and forth. So, he's not going to be up 21 points by any means where he doesn't have to run the fucking football. This is a competitive football game. And you'll notice that's what I do with my props. I look for games where I believe are going to be competitive.
I like it. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Where the pass rush can get to the quarterback so that he can, get out and start moving out. No, absolutely right. Let's move on to your final prop here. Minnesota Vikings, New York Giants, MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. I have just bet the Colts +3 and the under 42 in the Browns-Cowboys game. Those are my last 2 spots today until our live stream, obviously, our live action. Take it away for us. Vikings, Giants, Dutchy, my man.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, Truth Teller. Rod Z, I see you, my guy. Cliff Young. Everybody run up them likes. We're doing big things here on Pub Sports Radio. Daniel Jones, that's right. All you motherfuckers want to talk shit about him. Well, I'm going to the motherfucking window with DJ. Over 26.5, minus 120. Last time he's seen Minnesota, this was before he got hurt last year. This was last year against the Minnesota Vikings. 17 carries Daniel Jones had. 78 yards against Minnesota. What changes now? I believe this will be a competitive game. The line is telling us that as well. When you look at the Giants, they do have Singletary running the football. Outside of that, I know they're a little high on this rookie, but they don't really have anybody. They do got Neighbors, the wide receiver. They're lacking weapons, in my opinion. I really think Daniel Jones is going to be running for his fucking life. The offensive line is suspect as well, and we know he has a tendency to turn over the ball, but them legs are been underrated since he came into the league. I expect him to have 50-plus rushing yards. Easy, Jim. Over 26.5 rushing yards against a suspect Vikings defense who's got a lot going on. I believe this game will come down to the 4th quarter. It's a 1-possession game. Daniel Jones will definitely be using those legs in New York.
I love it. You are locked in, my friends. Odds available now at Pinnacle. You are in business. The Dimes prop and the Josh Allen prop. It'll be a fun thing for us to also track your quarterback action here, quarterback rushing. After all these years of us hammering the board, it's important for us to find what are we succeeding at and what are we not. We have Noli Knows giving us the skull and bones on that. I am on the under as well with Noli in the house.
That's a good thing to see.
His action here. We got Jones rush yards over 26.5 minus 120. Josh Allen rush yards over 33.5 at minus 115. He's got Lions Falcons money line parlay at plus 125, under 41.5 for Patriots Bengals with the Bengals -7 at minus 117, and he's got the Falcons first half -2.5 and -115. Dutchie, thank you so much for making time for us on a Sunday morning out in Vegas. And we are 8 minutes away from kickoff of our first Sunday of the year. Any last words for the Cappers supporting the show?
All right, it's a beautiful thing, Jim. We got all the real ones back in the chat. I can see it. We got a big game. Be sure to tune into Monday night live with our boy Jimmy the Bag. Watch the Lions smack them Rams around. And first thing tomorrow morning, let's recap it all on Medicate Monday. We'll break down not only the Monday night game, the Thursday night game, and any crucial Saturday games that stand out between me, my guy Dabby Cap, and the Sesh crew. Be sure to check it out. Appreciate you, Jim. Y'all stay fresh.
There he is, Dutch boy fresh. Let's review all action here. There were some cappers that we didn't get to talk about. One Spenny Penny Bombs, who's going to be a fixture on this show. He gave us Cook over 63.5 for rush yards and 75 or more. This is how he handles it, and he succeeds greatly with it by also betting the straight up and then the alt. Kamara over 86.5 rushing receiving, so expecting a bounce back year from Kamara. Remember, last year, no New Orleans Saint had a 20-yard rush, 20-plus yard rush all year. 100-plus rushing receiving at plus 160. He's on Evans over 67.5 receiving yards, 75-plus at plus 120. He's on Walker. That's also a spot that Bobano's on over 67.5 rush yards, 75-plus. Thomas Jr., the 23rd overall draft pick, over 41.5 receiving yards, 50-plus at plus 140. And Drake London, 75 or more receiving yards, Drake London, 75 or more receiving yards at plus 170. DC Capper getting that Lions -3.5. Don't worry, Nasty Nate. We're gonna get a lot. We're gonna get a lot of our guy Penny Bombs, Spenderella. He'll be all over us, man. He's a monster capper that we want. We need the bombs in here. So let's review all action here. I have added Colts +3 in Dow, Cleveland under. I've not added the Titans win total. If they pull the upset today, I'll have to deal with that. I'm not gonna add that future right now. But I'm 1-1. I'm 8-3 now on this season. 8-3, 72.7% plus 4.83 units. I have KC Baltimore under 46 as a loss. And I had the win with the Eagles. I'm on the under 40.5 with New England, Cincinnati, Patriots team total under 16.5, Pittsburgh, Atlanta under 42, Titans +4, Panthers +4.5, Minnesota, New York Giants under 41.5, Browns -2.5. Rams, Detroit under 51. I just know it's going to fucking cost me. Jets +4.5, Raiders +3, Colts +3, and Dallas, Cleveland under. My futures are over 7.5 wins for the Bucks, under 6.5 for the Vikings, under 4.5 for the Patriots. Patriots worst record. Lions win the NFC North. Lions over 10.5 wins. Colts to make the playoffs, and Kelsey under 850.5 receiving yards, 34 in game one. If the Vikings win and the Titans lose, I'll bet those win totals again. I'll bet them again. For our Pub Sports Circa Millions, we have the Bengals -8.5, Buccaneers -3.5, Vikings -1, Panthers +4, Raiders +3, and Cardinals +6.5. Bobano's on the over 48.5 in Jacksonville, Miami. Giants +1.5, Patriots +4.5, over 48.5 in Houston, Indianapolis, over 41.5 in Denver, Seattle, and Walker over 64.5 rush yards and anytime touchdown. He's on Commanders +4 in the over 42 in Washington, Tampa, Jets +4.5. And his teasers, Giants +8, 7.5, Bengals -1.5, Giants +7.5, Colts +8.5, Bengals -1.5, Colts +8.5. Our guy Clint started the Die Hard MMA podcast. Vikings money line, Jefferson touchdown +120, alt yards 120 or more +330 to score the first touchdown here in 5 minutes at 50-1, and first quarterback for 400+ yards is Sam Darnold at 30-1. His 6-point teaser is Titans +10 and Bengals -1.5. And yes. And then we have Raiders +3 in the over 52 in Rams Lions, and he's all over Jackson Smith-Njigba props. Jackson Smith-Njigba props. He's all over it. Alt lines all over it. Sean Higgs on Titans +4.5, Colts +3, the under 42.5 in Washington, Tampa, and the over 52 in LA, Detroit, under 43.5, New York Jets, San Francisco. Birdie's on the Atlanta team total under 23.5, Bills -6, Vikings money line, Titans +4.5, Zach Moss anytime touchdown +125, Cowboys money line, and he's parlayed the Bucks and the Lions. Big Ragu's on the under 43 in Pitt, Atlanta, Steelers +4, Bills -6, Colts +3, the under 54 in Rams, Detroit, and his teaser is the Bengals -1.5, the Seahawks -0.5. Marley Betts, Texans first half team total over 10.5, Steelers +4.5, Browns -2, Buccaneers first half -2.5. Then Dutchie, we went over his action. Falcons first half -2.5, the under 41.5, and Bengals -7. Lions Falcons money line parlay, and then the Allen and Jones props. Thank you guys so much for being here on our first Sunday of the year. It all pops off in 4 minutes. I don't remember feeling like this like last night where I just couldn't sleep, and it wasn't anxiety. Like it wasn't maybe a little bit of nervousness, but it didn't feel like it was anxiety driven. I was just so excited thinking about all the options, all the things we're about to see in 3 minutes. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much. The Truth Teller, F. Donahue, Spenny Penny Bombs, Nilo. Great to see you, Nilo. Aubrey Travis, Rod Zawacki, Saturated, Gamblestein, Swiggy. Thank you guys. Occupancy, Brad Oliver, Nasty Nate, Cam Raphael. If it ain't foreign, it's born. Rainbow the God, Juan Ruiz, TJ Parks, Tom Leach, Noli Knows, MMA Locker Room. Thank you guys. DC Capper, Wager Detective, Joe Yurkovich. Thank you guys so much. Cliff Yang, all of you for making this show special. It truly, truly means the world to us. Thank you for your support. It means the world to us, man. Now let's go out there and let's get that cash. Thank you to our producer, Jose Bouquet, on the ones and twos, working his ass off for us. Thank you so much, Jose. And I can't wait to hear about the UTSA Texas State debacle. And he hasn't told me yet. I won't let him tell me. He can only tell me live about being at that game. Thank you all. Thank you all. Week 1 of the NFL football season is finally here. Let's pray to the football gods. We've gotten off to a great start. We're 7-3 in college football, 38-33 in CFL, 8-3 in NFL. We need the money to keep coming in. The stakes are high. Let's go out there and get that cash. Happy first Sunday of the year. May you all leche your bookmakers. Thank you for watching. Let's get this cash.